The holiday season is upon us, and this year it looks and feels a little different than it has in years past. Now, with 9 months of the COVID-19 pandemic in Utah, we've managed to find safe and innovative ways to go about our new normal, even when it comes to shopping. On this week's episode of Capital City News, we hear from Ben Kolendar, Director of Salt Lake City's Economic Development Department, who shares tips on how to shop safe and support local this holiday season. And our History Minute is about the Salt Lake Christmas Parade. Let's get started with our legislative update and look back.
At its December 8th meeting, the City Council received a variety of briefings, including those about COVID-19, those experiencing homelessness, and projects related to racial equity in policing. They also adopted an ordinance to regulate the use of electric scooters, adopted changes to the Police Civilian Review Board, adopted a joint resolution with the mayor to improve air quality in Salt Lake City, and, acting as the RDA, received a variety of briefings, including an update on the new track stop at 600 South. To learn more, visit slc.gov/council.
This year is unlike any we've experienced, and with many Salt Lake City residents struggling to receive COVID-19 assistance, paying rent or utilities, buying food, clothing, and other necessities has become far more difficult. If you are looking for ways to give back, help us help those in need by donating to Raise Up SLC, a direct cash relief program. Text GIVE SLC to 21000 or visit raiseupslc.com to learn more.
With cases of COVID-19 spiking once again and the CDC insisting that this season will likely be the worst we've seen during the pandemic, the state of Utah has a number of recommendations for celebrating this holiday season. To prevent the spread of COVID-19, they're asking that you limit close contact with anyone outside of your household. If you must leave your house for any reason, wear a mask per the state mandate, and be sure to wash your hands often. We understand it's not the same having the holidays with all of your loved ones assembled, but using video conferencing technology as an alternative is sure to keep everyone safe and able to celebrate in person next year.
Housing stability assistance is available for Salt Lake City residents who have been financially impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic or are at risk of losing their home. If your household has experienced a loss of income due to COVID-19 and you are unable to pay rent, mortgage, or utilities, you may be eligible for assistance through various agencies and programs serving the Salt Lake area. Call 211 today to see if your household qualifies for assistance. The countdown to the holidays is on, and for those wondering how to find a safe way to get the perfect gift for your loved ones, we've got some tips for you on how to shop safe, shop small, and support local. Ben Kolendar, Director of Salt Lake City's Economic Development Department, shares details.
I imagine, as far as economic development goes, it's been a pretty challenging time through the course of this pandemic.
Yeah, it's been an imbalanced approach or an imbalanced impact. So some sectors in our economy are actually doing quite well right now, and some are really suffering. So including small business, a lot of our tourism industry, and a lot of our restaurants as well.
So for people, as we look toward a holiday season where normally we'd be out shopping in huge swarms at City Creek or Gateway or wherever, or across our small business nodes across the city, where that's not so much of an option because of the pandemic, what are ways people can still participate in supporting small businesses while they do that holiday shopping and keep themselves safe?
I think it's a great question you asked, Brian. And I think about this in terms of what are the most impacted businesses, those suffering the most. And a lot of them are local small business retailers. And so how to actually support them, and to your point, in a way that you can be safe. It's a question I know a lot of people are asking right now as we approach the holiday season. One great resource, we have an organization, for those of you who don't know, called Local First Utah, who they really focus on highlighting these opportunities to buy local, because it's really important for our economy to keep those dollars circulating in our economy. and not put it to a corporate headquarters somewhere else, right? One thing that they've done is what's called the Utah Shop Small digital crawl, and their website is localfirst.org. If you go there, they'll have a link to the site that has all the online opportunities that you can go shop local, but do it online for this holiday season.
For people who do feel like going out is something that they are comfortable with, what are businesses doing? What are the small businesses doing to keep their customers safe during this time, other than the digital offerings?
Right. A lot of local businesses, or even some of our larger corporate partners as well have taken the Stay Safe to Stay Open pledge, which provides a checklist of best practices that they follow. The mask wearing is one of those, for example, and limiting the amount of patrons that can come into your shop. So if you do want to go in person, that a lot of the small businesses are taking precautions.
What about restaurants? Restaurants have had to limit their capacity in person. But what about, like, how are restaurants coping with takeout and delivery options still, 9 months into this?
There's no one size fits all approach for businesses. We're doing what we can as a city, and we're always looking for new opportunities to help be flexible for businesses during this tough time. I know already the mayor's office has issued a proclamation earlier in the year, which allowed businesses to take advantage of the public right of way in a shorter term basis than usual, and expand onto their private premise. And so, those regulations, there are some tricky things as we go into the winter months. As you say, I need tents and heaters and things like that. How do I do that safely? And that's something that we're looking at as well. But a lot of local restaurants are really benefiting from the curbside, as you mentioned, but also gift cards. And Local First is another great organization to help promote gift cards. And if you're not going to go dine out, if you're not comfortable with it now, but you still want a local restaurant to be around once this pandemic is over, one great way to help support them is by buying gift cards now to go help support that restaurant, or go dine in that restaurant, in the summer or next winter, and using those gift cards then. So a couple of great ways that you can support the local businesses that are here.
So you talked about, when the pandemic's over. Can you talk to me about the light at the end of that particular tunnel?
One thing that we've been seeing, in terms of the public health measures, is that, there have been a couple of vaccines that at least initially look very promising, have gone through the trials, and are going through those final stages of approval right now. While we don't have a specific timeline, we can say, there are even more and more vaccines making it through those final processes, and it looks more and more likely that rollout of the vaccination is going to begin in the near term. And so what's important about that is that, this isn't going to last forever. The way that we're operating now, everything being virtual, not going into your favorite local restaurant in person, not celebrating the holidays with your loved ones. So this is a temporary thing. And I think that's important, as a lot of businesses, a lot of people in general are, there's a lot of anxiety right now. And to have that light at the end of the tunnel is really important. And as we go into these winter months, what's going to be really important as well is, if you want that local business to be around on the other side of this, think about shopping local for this holiday season. Think about getting those gift cards so that you can go out and enjoy, these local restaurants when we do get to that light at the end of the tunnel, right? And so those are the two things I would encourage, everyone in Salt Lake City to think about for this holiday season.
For residents who want to make sure they shop local, what's the best place for them to get the information about where to do that, what businesses to support, so that they can see them coming back at the end of this?
Yeah, localfirst.org has a bunch of great resources. You can go on their page and check out the digital crawl shop guide.
And now it's time for our History Minute.
For more than 50 years, Salt Lake City had a parade on Main Street to usher in the holiday shopping season. Sponsored by the Junior Chamber of Commerce, thousands of children participated in the themed parades, but the one constant was the arrival of Santa Claus. Floats and school bands marked the parade, and tens of thousands attended annually. Santa would often arrive in unusual circumstances. In 1940, he was pulled by an Alaskan dog team. In 1945, he arrived in a Navy fighter plane. In 1946, he even arrived by helicopter to greet a crowd of 100,000 parade-goers cramming onto Main Street. The parade became a tradition in Salt Lake City, a way to ring in the time between Thanksgiving and Christmas and remind residents that downtown was open for business. The parade ended in 1992. Salt Lake City was unable to continue bearing the cost of allowing the parade to happen for free, and since the Junior Chamber of Commerce was unable to raise the $3,000 to provide for the facilities and street closures required, the parade faded into obscurity.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode. We hope you take care, stay safe, and have a wonderful holiday season. For SLC TV, I'm Poonam Kumar.